Hey everybody, welcome back to Spiritual Devil. It is Friday, September the 16th. I'm headed to Friedrich Wilderness area, and I've got the traffic avoidance system on right now. So you may hear me pause periodically to process what's being said as I let the highly aware subconscious take control of the errand of getting me to where I'm going. The rest of me is keenly aware of the bottles that are strewn about me, probably because I consumed so many bottles in my own past. And to observe these things as wrongs or wrongings of one another sometimes will manifest the problem. Like if you're constantly berating somebody, chances are they're going to rub you the wrong way because you've berated them for long enough. So that's where this conversation with you comes into play. Again, it's Friday, September the 16th, and I am 16 days into a successful 7-day vegan challenge. My energy is starting to recover. My vitality is coming back. My ability to perform feats that seem almost superhuman compared to people in my own demographic. And by demographic, I mean my own age category and background. Let's face it, my kind is not really tolerated, just like many kinds are tolerated on even lesser levels. These are things that we recognize, and when we are highly entitled, sometimes we overlook all of the things that collectively belong to us, like these byways that I'm passing through regularly. So I wanted to tell a story faster. So I wrote an album called Faster. That was last year. This year I've got one called Slower. And in the year 2020, I wrote a compilation of songs called Hindsight. Because hindsight is 2020. Hindsight's one of those things where it's like, gee whiz, if I was able to have understood this sooner, I would have done it sooner because I would have recognized how much pain it removed from the entire process of my recovery. So in this particular series, again, Friday, September 16th, some of you are going to be seeing this on this day. You're going to feel the shift in the energy. You already feel it. That's why you're watching this still. You're continuing to watch this. It's been what? Coming up on 4 minutes? How in the world could I talk about so many different things that seem so unrelated in 4 minutes, other than to say, we are having an amazing day. Everything that we get to do today is something we participate in choosing to do. For an example, if we decide to go and have an appointment by somebody who's going to diagnose our physical capabilities and or possibilities, then what we're doing is limiting our dreams to what someone else says, an expert, someone who's studied compassionately. In these subjects. If you have a camp host in charge at a place like, I don't know, a national park that has bears, and if the bears have run amok, all of them are gathering in a new way in a campground, all of them are acting crazy. They're doing things that are unusual. And if you have camp hosts and rangers who can't contribute to the safety of the overall well-being of the people who are there, it's quite possible that we may need to revise some of the things that we have practiced in the past. If we're going to defer everything to everyone else, then these bottles all over the road are going to stay there indefinitely as our world declines around us. We can dedicate energy in one way or another, either monetarily or by simply paying attention. It's drizzling right now. I don't know if you'll be able to see it overhead, but it's drizzling right now. How fantastic! In a place that's been so parched and so thirsty for water. I think in the same way, our people have been just as thirsty for knowledge. Knowledge is an acquired experience. We do not necessarily need to experience it in person to understand that it would be unpleasant to suffer from a broken bone. It would be unpleasant to suffer from a vehicle, any kind of a slowdown, malfunction, accident. It also, I'm looking at a pen on the ground in front of me. Look, I'll give you a quick glimpse. It's in the island. I hope you could see it. I didn't want to spend another however many minutes this video is to watch it, edit it, add stuff to it, to make points, to make a point. There was a pen, an ink pen of some sort, an ink pen. There's bottles of water for whoever occasionally comes here and occupies that space. And all over, there are bottles, empty bottles. The ones I just passed were mostly full. All over there are empty bottles, and so we have to at least, it's raining. We have to at least consider, well, if we're giving someone a bottle and they're handling it inappropriately, should they continue to receive it? One of the best ways to test that theory is to bless the water. Take everything that you have and bless it with an energy of peace, abundance, fortitude. And when you do something like that, you'll be surprised what the results are. Just as a, look, well, you can't see. Here, maybe, I'm not going to do it because I'm driving. I'm passing all of the traffic that's on the expressway. Now, we're still going to have traffic signals to deal with and all that, but this traffic avoidance feature, if you ever have the opportunity to invest in a new technology to support the future, as you probably wish to do, you'll want to make sure in every instance that your vehicle has the options that it was able to have been built with. Again, if we were to fracture a bone, let's say a leg, it is not going to be a pleasant, entirely pleasant experience. Because we will have lost the use of some of our mobility. Now, some people are already in these predicaments. For these things, I wish to you a healing recovery. However that recovery might take shape. Whether it's in the form of spiritual, mental, and or physical. That's what I wish for you. For the people who are coming up on the loss of extremities because of a diagnosis. Don't forget, your own participation factors in to what you can achieve. So let's just say today, a month ago, I weighed a little bit more. I was a little bit in less of a conditioned shape than I am today. And let's just say a week from now, the same is true. I'm more conditioned at that point. The results can only be exponentially realized by the participant. If you're not participating in your own life, you're just you're sitting at a standstill. Now, speaking of, I'm sitting at a standstill at a traffic light, but I'm real early to the light, so I'm going to make it in the first cycle. I'm already aware of the large vehicles that I've passed, and none of the large vehicles have caught up to us yet, so we're still doing extremely well using this traffic avoidance feature. Why am I talking about the traffic avoidance feature? What does that have to do with plastic bottles? What does that have to do? When we value something, we typically don't degrade it. If you were sitting in the seat next to me right now, you would understand that I'm not degrading you. If you were sitting in the seat next to me right now and you were yelling at me while I was driving and trying to say, hey, it's hard to drive, I need to participate with paying attention to what I'm doing primarily. This level of stress that you're adding to the equation could cause an accident. If I were to suggest that, and you, as an adult, a wiser adult, I say that because I'm frankly a child. I'm still a child. I'm going to be a child for quite some time, learning for a long time with you. And because of that, I'd like to get to know you better. So I'd like to take things a little slower. But then would you take the time to know me at all? That's a line from a song that I wrote. The song is called Slower. It's got a pretty interesting guitar riff in addition to the words and the singing. It's a great song. It's a great song because I would listen to it if it was made by somebody else. Lately, what I've noticed is that when I share things that are personal, I've been receiving more impersonal responses than personal. And some of the impersonal responses go so far as to simply just ghost me. I'm passing a lot of plastic right now. They just seem to ghost me. And that's okay. To me, that means I already know exactly who I'm talking with. You're listening. You're not ghosting me anymore. You're listening. And you're listening because you're wondering, this guy's not wrong. Is he going to succeed? That's the great mystery of it. I've got a lot of people who can't even begin to... Let's break it down on a South Park level. There's a show called South Park. And there are characters in there. And the irony of the battle from when we were children is that our battles inevitably delay that which is supposed to occur. It might seem I'm approaching. There's a vehicle in front of me and it's got a tire cover on the tire and it says Defender. Some of us might see that we're defenders as I pass the sunflowers with no butterflies but a lot of plastic, tons of plastic. As I pass these things and as I talk about spirituality, we know without a doubt that I'm right, but I'm not trying to be right. I don't want to be right. I'm tired of being right. I just want to be as I pass more plastic. And so I know that you feel that same agitation from me. It's like I'm telling you this. I'm telling you I'm passing already bagged. Someone already bagged some of this trash and put it out here, or someone littered. But I believe even with the pickup that is occurring, and by the pickup I mean there are paid park personnel at this place where I'm going to that pick up that stuff. There are unpaid people who are picking up this rubbish, and there are paid people who are paying all they have to buy more of the rubbish that apparently the trash man has to clean up. That's why I sound spiritual to you. And that's also why I sound like the devil to you. Have you decided whether you're peaceful or not? It's not my decision. So I'm going to tell you with authority and or compassion, but I'm going to tell you with only my point of view, without hearing your part of the participation. We come up short on what's called a conversation. And so, as I continue to receive little to no response, I'm going to ask you, please click on the description. There is a link in there, a PayPal link. As you're giving out bottles of water, at least pay some attention to the fact that this also may be true. And I don't mean that in a demeaning or belittling way. What I'm saying is I'd like to contribute to my own society as well. In order to do that, I have to be recognized. I have to be a fabric. Just like that bottle I'm passing right now is a fabric. It's an association, but it's not just trash that I've ever brought to you. If you look at the history of what I've brought to you, it's almost all nature. It's all natural. It's basic. It's a basic kid growing up on a journey, telling you about lessons that I've learned that you don't have to learn directly from. You don't have to break your own arm to know. Maybe I should have taken some preventative measures. Maybe I shouldn't have stood on the ladder that clumsily. Maybe I should have started to do calisthenics. Maybe I should have eaten better foods that build stronger fibers. Those are always our choice. Every day of every moment. Even leading up to those moments where we get poked and prodded into compliance. Why comply when you can live? You know? So anyway, paper. This area has a lot of paper. Hamburger box. It's all happening. It's all happening at the same time that there's signs up for a future upcoming ritualistic holiday that we practice seasonally. And some people will do everything to slow down someone else's progress, even to the point where they denounce you and say, well, that guy, he talks about holy water. That's far-fetched. I'm not into that. But at the same time, they'll send trees, Christmas trees, Easter rabbit images, eggs, group messages, saying these things. It's rubbish strewn about. I wish you could see the trash I'm passing by. It's a bristling feeling. It kind of raises my pressure a little bit. So going to this type of circumstance, reflecting upon it, even just for a moment, in a way that relates it to the fact that nature is under duress, in order to relate that passionately so that you can hear the truth and go, wow, you know, that guy, he's not going to succeed without anybody else's help. There's nowhere anyone goes all alone except for back to the beginning. So, I am at ease I refuse the negative energy only out of kindness to point attention to the discrepancies between our attempts at communication. So this is 20 minutes and 20 seconds. Hindsight's 2020.
Just to kind of put things into perspective, really listen. Not to the well-timed playing, but just to how silent it was and continues to remain. In this super rich area where I'm going to take you on a virtual hike downhill. Once the playing noise stops, we'll stop. So you may be able to tell we're passing through kind of a little gully or ravine or creek. That's just off the trail. And I was trying to see what was in the frame there, but listen, really listen. It's early in the day, rained lightly. There should be an abundance of signs of life on this glorious late day in September. There should be an explosion of life. This stretch used to be very rich with cactus. I don't even have to replay this or exemplify the truth that there are less cactus. That was just a couple of planes in this 3 minutes where we haven't even heard hardly a single bird or anything else. Listen again. Hope you saw that grasshopper. Think about it. I'm not seeing ants. Definitely no mosquitoes. Just rained, a light rain just a little while ago. If I were a person to provide a theory, I can't tell you, the rain should be beneficial. I've been in other areas where there was an abundance of insect life, and then it rained and then there was nothing. These may be unrelated circumstances, and even if they are, again, there should be noises here right now. Should be ants, butterflies. Where are my ants, by the way? Butterflies. Where are my butterflies? Snakes. Where are my snakes? I just saw a lot of lizards here earlier in the week. It's, as you see, relatively overcast, which sometimes limits the possibility of encountering any reptiles. But more often than not, on a day like today, usually I would see lizards, except where are the things that they eat? Just some basic thoughts. Thanks for checking in, and I appreciate you. Have a great day.